Alrighty, and we are live with session 23 of our Drowned Gods campaign. And let's get started. As always, reset your hero point pools to 1. And Akalupu, do you have a recap this time?
Akalupu was too busy deciding not to throw rocks at the other ships, and
you weren't too busy dissecting that the coconut creature?
Yes. Yes, that also.
All right. So, who wants to give the recap for an extra hero point?
I'll do it.
Alrighty. So, last time we picked up with you guys setting sail.
So, we set sail for the horizon, but more specifically for Pony Island. This is the map that we found. Did we find? No, I was given the map. That's right. And then we found.
Were you given the map, or does PPOP still have it?
I thought I was given the map, but no. That's right. PPOP has it.
My mom gave me the map.
Yeah, you've also got an uncomfortably sexy drawing of your mom in her unicorn form.
Uncomfortably sexy. I like. And then as we're sailing, we've come across some debris, which looks like these weird dead coconut people.
Well, you missed when PPOP got attacked by a fish.
Oh, that's right. PPOP got attacked by a fish, and Akalupu tried to haul the fish in, but he, I guess, isn't quite as strong as he believed.
Nah, he just slipped on all the fish slime.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the wind.
He slipped. It was the wind. The stars were not aligned.
Exactly.
Akalupu does have notes. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
Well, let's get the Akalupu notes then.
Yeah.
We got to do that before we do the recap. It's tradition.
Yeah, I had forgotten that there was a bunch of stuff that had happened before combat. I thought last time was just entirely attacking the boats.
No, not quite.
Day 1, set out on boat heading west. Fog does not signal goodness for our trip. This seems to play out by giant fish trying to eat the sneaky one. Greatest hero of all time tries to pull the fish that is bigger than the boat into the boat, but to eat the fish, but the fish runs away. It's a weakling.
And I'm sure Akalupa was exaggerating, but it wasn't bigger than the boat. It was about the same size as PPOP.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you know, he can't tell anybody that.
Right, exactly.
That
it was obviously
like
a whale.
Of all time. Obviously, it was, you know, the giant sea creature. Day 2, strange floating stuff off the boat side. Find humanoid creature has coconut face for face, is dead. Run into 3 boats run by scary coconut men. That's all he has. Once they started actually getting into combat, he had better things to do than write.
Fair enough. And we haven't finished combat yet, so that actually is totally sensible. But yeah, so the fish attacked. Akalupa wasn't able to grab it. You pick up from there, Abe.
And then we found the weird debris. And then, which had the remains of, I think, just one of the coconut people.
Correct.
Which was dissected, and I don't know if we made it into chum or if we put it on the top of our mask. There's discussion about that.
Yeah, so both Akalupu dissected it and is drying out its bones to assemble them and put them on the mast, and then stored the rest of it as fetid chum in one of your storage slots. So if you look at your ship sheet, you'll see slot 4 is filled with fetid chum.
Nice. And then we noticed some boats on the horizon making a beeline towards us.
Well, not quite that fast. So there was at least one evening between you running into the creature. in the
Oh,
water.
we saw the Gluckus, didn't we? We saw the glow of the Gluckus.
No, you didn't see the glow of the Gluckus. That was when you were on your way back from Papaya Island. But one of the evenings, PPOP did kind of have a remembrance of events that happened before between him and Loki while they were imbibing mushroom tinctures. Is that not ringing any bells?
It's really not. It's the mushrooms.
Exactly. You can just barely remember it. So yeah, one of the evenings while on watch, PPOP remembered an evening he had with Loki while the two of them were messing around with different tinctures from the hallucinogenic mushrooms that grow on the island. And the two of them were having a good time, and Loki actually discussed a bunch of extra details about PPOP's mother, how they met, the fact that the evening before she showed up on the island, there had been this great light display. He said he wasn't sure whether it was like shooting stars or the aurora borealis or what. He didn't know what it was. And then the next morning, PPOP's mother ambushed him by jumping out of a tree on top of him and more or less forced him to like give her food and medicine and take care of her from that point forward.
Right.
And then he kind of discussed how they had from that point, grown to love each other and had their whole fling. And then the fact that he hadn't realized she was, part unicorn until quite late. In fact, he didn't find out until shortly before she disappeared. The fact that she did just disappear, she never told him anything or said that she was leaving. The fact that his mother never appeared pregnant. So he was very surprised when he found PPOP as a little baby left behind. But the fact that it was undoubtedly her child because they both had the same unique amber-colored eyes that nobody else on the island does. And we also found out that PPOP has pink pubes. So that's important to know.
That's right.
And
That's why I'm shy about it.
no, that was your go-to to impress girls.
No, that's why I'm shy in the locker room. I mean, around boys.
Exactly. But yeah, and then she just disappeared one evening without any warning. He said that he never was able to figure out exactly why she had left Silicon Valley, though he said the best he was able to get, because she kind of would change the subject whenever he tried to bring it up, was just that maybe it sounded like she was avoiding something or running away from something. And then he also did help PPOP make the connection that the place that you're going probably is where his mother is from and not just a random map with no connection to anything. And then he gave PPOP that uncomfortably sexy horse picture of his mother.
Gave him mixed feelings.
And then PPOP is taking that so that he can hopefully identify his mother. And his mother is in her unicorn form, is all white coat, pink mane and tail with a golden horn.
And her name for Becky?
So he said that he was not convinced that that was her real name. But that is the name that she used while she was there.
And then it was right after that, remembrance, right? It
was like the next day, but yeah.
Well, didn't PPOP have to wake everyone up?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But I think it was daylight when you guys spotted the sails, because at night it would be pretty hard to do that.
This is true.
Yeah, I woke everyone up in the morning.
Oh. And then we engaged in combat with them after sussing out that their intentions were less than friendly.
Yeah, and then one thing that's important is you notice that all of their ships were damaged before you even got there. They seem to have scorches and burns and various fractures on some of them. So it looks like they're very much worse for wear, and it does not appear like they just got caught in a storm or something, not unless it was one heck of a lightning storm. And you also noticed similar things on the goblin, coconut goblin creature. They're not technically goblins, but they're like similar. But yeah, you noticed similar like burns and stuff on the coconut creature that you fished out of the water before. So it seems like it was probably part of the same group originally.
Makes sense to me. And then we sunk one of their ships.
Yeah,
And
especially after they
yeah.
kept rolling badly enough on their repair roll that they were doing more damage to themselves.
did they get a 1 at one point?
Yeah, they got more than 1-1. They got critical fails multiple times. And the one that you killed was in such bad shape that one of the creatures was like trying to plug a hole in the side of the ship with its fingers right as you rammed into it.
That's right. That's right. Fun times.
Yeah, and there's like 2 smaller war canoes that have 3 of these creatures each. Obviously, one of them has been incapacitated, but the creatures are pelting you with rocks and arrows. The rocks really haven't reached you, but a couple of the arrows have landed and done some minor damage. And then the larger one, the war raft, has a large contraption mounted on top of it, which they are using to shoot spears at you.
I have taken one of the spears.
You got hit by 2, I think.
Yeah, but I think didn't Akalupu like at one point take one of them like out of the ship
I don't think so.
to use as a weapon? I just thought that was a good idea, but didn't say anything. Probably.
All right, I think that pretty much catches us up. So we re-round to the beginning of combat. So let's just redo all the rolls as if this is a new round of combat right after you've destroyed their ship. So we start out with the engineering roll. So like the quartermaster roll. So you guys don't have anyone on quartermaster unless you want Sammy to go back to it. I'm assuming you don't. You want to leave her on the captain roll?
Yeah. So she's providing like rolling buffs, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, she can in any round give she can attempt a check to give a buff to someone's roll in that round. And whenever you want her to do that, just let me know. Because since Sammy is an NPC, I'm kind of leaving her as like your crew to control for this kind of thing.
Nice.
All right, so War Canoe is able to successfully repair. So that's that one remaining guy. And then let's see about... Nope, the raft does not succeed. So now we get our piloting checks. So you're using your survival for that, Jason. Nice. Oh, that was supposed to be a +6. Oh, it is a +6. Never mind. I was looking at Jason's roll. So that went well for the canoe. And the raft tied, but you have the higher bonus, so you still are going to be the winner. Or do we want to do whoever has the higher bonus, or do you want to re-roll on ties for these checks?
Higher bonus.
All right. I mean, that helps you right now, but in the future, it might not.
I'm gonna play to my advantage, bro.
Alrighty. So that means
I'm
the
not
war
risking
canoe.
another dice roll. That's some crazy talk.
That's fair. All right, so we have the war canoe goes first, then the raft, and then your ship. So let's see. Luckily, a critical fail on this doesn't do anything too horrible to them. So they are going to head over here. and try to pick up their friends. So what is their speed? I think it's 5 squares. No, 4 squares. Okay. They can get. Actually, they're gonna try for a trick. They want to try and get up to their friends this round. Dang! All right, so that is a success with 2 raises. So they can go an extra 4 squares. No, that'll get them 2. Come on. They can get all the way to there.
My goodness.
Let's do
What a roll.
Goblins as they're in the water.
that. You used your combat round to ram, so you can't do anything until your next combat round. All right. And this the war canoe is also gonna risk it for the biscuit. Just barely squeaked by with a success. So they get an extra couple of squares of movement. So it's going to get them up to 5 squares, and they are going to. So technically, because of their movement, they're like moving. Yeah, I guess they have to move. So they have to move a square. Then they turn. Then they can move 4 more squares, which would get them to there. All right. So that's it for their movement round. Now it's your turn. So you have a movement of 3, but you can try for a trick to get more, or if you have any other tricks that you want to do to kind of do something different.
Here's a quick question. How far do we have to be, like, to ram?
So if you look at the ramming skill, it says minimum 2 people spend their combat round rowing, moving 2 hexes directly forward. If they make contact with an object, they will do 3d12 damage.
So we need to be within 2 hexes.
Correct. And facing the right direction.
Like there's like
Okay,
3
so we could use our movement to face the right direction, hypothetically, and then on our combat round, ram this boat that's right behind us?
Yes.
Is that something that we would want to do?
I think we want to move here, where I'm pinging, and then ram to the left.
I like that. I think that's a good idea. I second that motion.
All right, and you have perfect turning, so you have no issue doing that kind of a maneuver.
Boom.
Nice.
Locked and loaded.
Alrighty. So
You may have played your hand too early, coconut people. You've walked right into my trap.
Alright, so combat actions. I think one thing that should be added is for the rowing, we probably do need to put a check in that. So all other attacks have a like a check that you have to succeed at. Rowing to ram should be the same. So I'm thinking probably like the default DC is 15. So a DC 15 athletics check from 2 people to succeed in the ram.
Could I think we'd want the buff from Sammy here in this round, right? Because I've only got like a +5 athletics.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to give Sammy's buff to wimpy little noodle arms there.
Exactly. That's what I'm glad we're on the same thought plane.
All right, so Sammy is gonna use her diplomacy. I think that was way better than her intimidation of 2.
Guys, if you could just really roll faster, that'd mean a lot to me.
All right, let's roll it. 21. She succeeds with a raise. So that is going to give you +3. Not to Akalupu. She can only choose one person. But she's going to give Manawanui a +3 to his athletics check.
Or
Who carries the team?
Yeah, that's enough raises that you don't even need to bother rolling Manawanui.
well, Manawanui rolled anyhow.
So Manawanui, you managed to get yourself caught up in the netting that Akalupu has made. And you are just tied up like a pretzel right now, looking very despondent as you reach for the oars with your 2 free fingers that are not trapped. Meanwhile, Akalupu has just he probably shoved you out of the way, and that's why you're caught in the nets.
He's got both oars.
Were you saying something, Anna?
No, I was laughing.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, Agalupu has grabbed both oars in his big old burly hands and is just power rowing this thing on his own.
He's flickering into in between shark form and human form.
Exactly.
Just with a very anime.
Precisely.
Yeah, he sprouts a giant yellow fro.
The only time that Akalupu ever has hair is when he goes Super Saiyan. All right. So that's 3d12 damage, and you guys move forward 2 squares. Go ahead and I'm going to move these guys out of the way. Pretend they're here. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible to select anything. So, Agalupu, you I feel like you've earned the honors. Roll our 3d12s. Let's see what kind of damage you do to this boat. You could roll 3 1s.
I know. I'm very terrified because I'm really bad at that.
Nice.
You know what? Not bad.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they have significantly less than 21 hit points left. Now, if they had been at full health and their armor hadn't been damaged, that actually wouldn't have killed them. But neither of those things are true, and their boat just cracks in half, splintering into just shards of wood flying everywhere. The sail comes crashing down. These creatures are screaming and trying to jump overboard. One of them gets caught in the impact and just crushed to death instantly, just smashed into a paste. And that is this other ship dead. So let me mark him real quick.
This is gruesome.
Thomas, did you see the message from Mom?
On Skype?
Yeah, Skype.
Okay, cool. Do we want to take a break real quick, and we're going to sing some happy birthdays, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right.
I totally missed the entire conversation before that, but yeah.
All right. I'll catch you guys in a bit then.
Oi.
All right, and we're back. Quick happy birthday song's done. Now back to the carnage.
Done.
All right, so that's it for your all's combat round. Pretty effective. Now it is
I'd
their
say
turn.
we just crushed people like,
Right?
to death.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so looking around at you, you see that there are actually two goblins. Well, I keep calling them goblins. Two of these coconut monsters have, as you were going through the area, you're now in the wreckage where both boats were. Two of them have clambered up the side of your boat. And they're going to take swings at you guys with their little slices.
Not the slices.
Always the slices. All right, so one of them is going to take a swing. So it was two of their actions to clamber aboard, so they can only attack once. All right. A 21, I think will hit just about any of you. So let's get a roll to see who they are trying to hit. This guy is trying to hit number 4, which I think is Akalupu. Let me see. Yes, Akalupu. All right, Akalupu, does a 21 hit you?
Let me see if I can find where.
Akalupu, AC 16, so yes, a 21 will hit you. The highest AC is PPOP with a 21, so that would have hit him as well. So, Akalupu, you take 5 points of damage as one of these guys takes a knife made out of bone. It seems to be the tooth of some very large carnivorous creature, and slashes at you with it.
I'm so gonna take that from him. Kill him.
Absolutely. And this second goblin is going. I keep calling them goblins. I need to come up with like an actual creature name. I've just been so they're basically goblins, but they're not. Coconut monsters is fine for now.
Cocoa faces.
But yeah, the other one is going to slash at somebody as well. 23. So yeah, that'll hit anybody. So let's get another D4 and see who this guy is hitting. 2. All right, I think that is Sammy. No, that's PPOP. All right.
Can I make a hero point to jump in front of the attack?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that then.
All right, so another one of these guys is coming at you, slashing at PPOP. Manawanui jumps in front heroically and is going to take 8 points of damage.
Can I, at this point, trigger Blood Vendetta?
I think that one's a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay.
And this guy can actually bleed, unlike the ghost.
I think the freaking ghost was very excited to try it on the first time. Alright. I think. Let's see. Do I roll or does the thing roll?
I mean, look at your spell, I guess. Let's see.
It says it's
Blood Vendetta. It is a reaction, targets the triggering creature. You curse the target, punishing it for having the audacity to spill your blood. The target takes 2d6 persistent bleed damage and must attempt a will save. All right, what is your save DC?
5 save DC.
Yes.
It is a +8.
No, your spell save.
Oh, like my bonus to casting?
I think it's gonna be 10 plus your It's 10 plus your main stat, maybe plus your level. I don't know why that. Oh, DC 19. Okay, yeah. So that would be 10 plus, I think intelligence was your main stat, right?
Yeah, which is a +4.
Okay, and then you're level 3.
Correct.
That would be 17. So there must be something else that's getting you the 19. But if you look, it says Blood Vendetta DC 19. So it does tell us what it is.
That's helpful. It's like they thought about this beforehand.
Right? So yeah, I don't know where the other 2 points are coming from, but somewhere.
Somewhere.
All right, so let's see if they can make a will save of 19 or better. I wouldn't count on it if I were them. Will save, roll. Nope, just an 8. So that's 2d6 damage, and then the persistent bleed is 1d6? Let me see.
Depending on how much of a failure it is. Because I think it's...
Okay, here we go. So it's just a normal failure. The target takes the full persistent bleed damage until the bleeding stops. The target has weakness 1 to piercing and slashing. Okay, cool. So you've given it weakness 1. And roll those 2d6. Let's see what kind of bleed damage you're doing.
Alrighty. Alright, so that's 2d6. 8.
Nice.
It's kind of poetic because it's like the exact amount of damage
Yeah.
it did to me.
Exactly. And unlike you, it doesn't have how many hit points do you have?
I have 15, but plus 9 stamina.
Yeah. So yeah, but it does not have 15 plus 9 stamina. It has 3 hit points and 3 stamina points. So yeah, so this thing slashes at you. And you start to bleed, and your eyes immediately trigger in anger, and you can hear Topple's voice, like laughing in your mind, just this kind of, you dare to touch one of my servants. And then I think that's the best I've done of his voice yet. I should try to do it more like that more often. And suddenly the blood that is coming from your wound just explodes toward this creature in this array of razor sharp whips, just slicing through it, completely just vivisecting this creature, flaying its skin from its flesh and leaving it in a steaming pile.
Got it, guys. It's all good.
At this point, PPOP is just cowering in the corner like, Mommy.
All right. So now for the war raft. So a couple of the guys on there are going to take shots at you with their bows. Let's see how they do. All right, an 18 and a 9. All right, so the 9 won't hit any of you. The 18 could hit some of you. So let's get that 1d4 to see who he ends up hitting. All right, 2. So that's PPOP again. You gonna use your second hero point to jump in front of this arrow too?
But my AC is higher than that.
Oh right. Correct. So it misses. You were cowering in a corner.
In front of that arrow.
You still want to jump in front of the arrow? I mean, you can do that if you want to spend your hero point. Go for it.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
All right. So Yeah, so the arrow comes whizzing by, and PPOP, you're cowering in the corner, but then you hear like a whooshing noise, and you manage to turn sideways just in time to see a black fletched arrow whiz past you and thud harmlessly into the side of your boat.
Activate axolotl mode. Just cling to the wall.
Exactly. You got to keep on that rudder though, or you're gonna have a hard time steering.
Boats are all right. They just need minor adjustments here and there.
Unless your rudder gets off to the side and you just start steering in circles. Because this is a small boat. The rudder is not like very fixed. It's easy for it to just end up going off wherever. All right, and then the large contraption they have loaded on their boat has reloaded, so it's going to take a shot at you as well. All right, 23. I believe that will hit. What's your boat's AC? AC is 10 plus your navigator skill, which is 17, correct?
Yes.
All right, so that will hit. So another spear is fired out of this contraption and thuds loudly into the side of your boat. Let's roll some damage for it and see if it does anything this time. Its damage is fairly low because it's not really like designed for destroying ships. So your armor has absorbed all of it so far, but let's see if that holds. Oh, I almost did 12d8 instead of 2d8. Or sorry, d6s. I like 12d6s. Sounds like fun to me. All right, 9. I think that finally does beat out your armor. It does. All right, so you take 4 points to your damage. So you can see your max durability is 10. It's been reduced by 4, so that brings you to 26. And this time, something a little different has happened. Something that you guys called way in advance, but there's a rope attached to the spear this time.
I knew it.
And you guys are now pinned essentially, and you cannot move any further away from the raft than you currently are. So you cannot move more than 80 feet away from the raft.
It's time, friends.
Oh,
obviously you could attempt to break or cut the rope or break the spear or dislodge it or whatever, but for the time being you have been harpooned.
You've been stuck.
All right.
Do we know how many little goblin nuts are on the big ship?
Yeah, so that's something that you can have Sammy assess in the next round, because she used one of her actions to like assess the speeds and stuff of the boats and gave you information on that. You guys did not ask about crew capacities though, so if you'd like her to use her round to check that next time, you can do that.
And if I'm not mistaken, we still do have a little goblin coconut on our ship, right?
Yes, one of the goblin coconuts is still alive. The one that slashed at Akalupu, I believe. But yes, one of them is alive. The other one is on your ship, but very much not alive.
What remains of it is on the ship.
Exactly. All right, so that brings an end to that round. So do you want Sammy to remain in the captain's seat, or do you want her to move to the quartermaster role and try to repair the damage from the harpoon?
I'd say we move her to the quartermaster to start repairing some of the ship's damage.
On the other hand, maybe we keep her in the captain's role to just try and end the fight faster so that we can do all of our repairs,
We could also do that.
in the aftermath.
Yep, either option is valid.
It's not like they can harpoon us again, right? Like they've already got they've got the harpoon.
No, they reload and they can fire that thing again. Not this round, but next round.
Hmm. What if we close with them and just start attacking them on their ship?
That's what I think. I think we go full force ahead.
I agree. Alright, so yeah, I agree with keeping it in the captain's nest.
All right. Then the goblins are going to make an attempt for their repairs. And fail. All right, so now we are to the navigation check. Do you want Sammy to give you a bonus on this one? Or save it for combat?
Save it for combat.
All right, let's get these checks, see who's going first.
We're in an enclosed arena. The movement advantage is not super important at this point.
All right, well, good thing, because you are going to move first.
Move towards them.
Yeah, and we can move 3 squares, right?
Yes, unless you want to do a trick to try and get extra movement. But your move speed is at 3, so you see speed, slow, 50% average, 3.
All right. We move like that.
All right, so now it's their turn. So they... What are they gonna do? I think they are going... They don't need a trick, so they're not gonna roll for that this time. They're gonna move, because they have 2 hex turn speed, so they gotta move before they can even turn. And then they'll turn. And they're just gonna stay right there. All right. Combat. What you gonna do? Now remember, with combat, all of the actions in ship combat are considered to resolve at the same time. So everyone does all of their attacks. Even if you killed a goblin, it would still get its attack, right? Because it's assumed that you basically kill each other at essentially the same time. And then the aftermath is resolved at the end.
The ships are close enough that people can jump between the 2 of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Akalupu's gonna jump on the other ship. Well, actually, first Akalupu's gonna kill the goblin that's already on our ship.
All right, that's gonna be your combat action for this round. So you can do one or the other.
Yeah, he's gonna, well... He is going to jump onto the other ship and start attacking them because he trusts the people on the ship to be able to attack that one, and he figures if he is on the main ship, there's less likely that we're going to get swarmed.
All right. And at this point, you're close enough. It's pretty easy to see. There appear to be 10 of these little coconut guys running around doing different things. And then one of them that looks different than the others. So a total of 11.
Akalupu is going to...
So I have a question. One of my spells is called Grim Tendril, and it says that it attacks everybody within a line, but how would that work since they're not exactly marked on the map? Would that be a probability thing, or does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd probably just roll a die, a d6 or something, and say you hit that many.
Okay. Cool beans. That's what I'm gonna do.
Could you give me a baby wipe?
All right.
Could you give me a baby wipe? Cordelia.
So Akalupa is jumping on board. Let's get an athletics check to see if you succeed. Or if you end up just embarrassingly splashing into the water. 25? Yep, that'll do it. You are on board with these creatures.
Nice. I'm attack them
Cool.
with
Your teeth. Get a crunch from
let's
that.
see. I have to use one action to turn to
To rage.
right?
Yes. So we'll say similar to like them clambering on board your ship. It'll have been 2 actions for you to board their ship, and then you can have 1 action left if you would like to rage or attack.
Okay. I thought, well, yeah, I guess because they're like much taller than us. I figured if I was initially imagining it as like our decks being even, but
They're not that different, but it still is more than just like a move action. You know, you're not just stepping across to their ship, right?
yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rage.
All right.
I can remember how to do this.
Rage against the machine.
Rage and not attack?
Yeah. How do I?
If you go to special and then click on rage and then check that you are raging.
So special. Okay, it looks like I'm. If it's round 10 of 10, that means I'm raging, right?
No, that means you have 10 rounds of raging available.
Okay, well,
I think if you...
So if you
Does it
click
work
on
that-
rage, have you clicked on rage to open up that pop-up?
Yes.
And then you see the check mark that says raging?
there's no check mark.
Situational behaviors.
Just as a description.
Did you do it from special abilities?
Yes.
In like
I
the
went to special
combat?
abilities. All right, hit combat.
Your UI is different from mine.
Your magical items.
All right, so where are you? Are you in the full view or are you in the stage view?
Full view.
Go back to stage.
Is that the stage?
So first you need to go back to the campaign.
I'm so confused.
So I think what you gotta do is campaigns. Drum gods. Play now. Okay. In the campaign.
All right, on the left side, is there a menu that has some options?
There's overview, PCs and players, and settings.
Is there no stage option?
Well, the stage is on the right.
Ah. All right. Can you click on your
And-
character there?
Yes. And then it just opens up the character sheet.
Weird. So how do you normally see like all of the different people in combat?
It's just on a little panel on the left. I'm sorry, on the right, and it just shows. It has a list of all the people, and then it waiting for their turn.
Yeah, they have since the update they linked the stage view to the full character view. So now the stage is literally just a tab in the character view.
I see. All right. So let me try to open Akalupa's full character because they also moved that.
Because I think it's in special abilities. I just don't understand how to click it so that it's activated.
I think you click the gear
All right.
and then there's
Sorry.
a checkbox.
So on the left side, are you in build or play?
Okay, yeah, it's the gear. All right, I got it. Now I'm raging. All right, problem solved. Stop scratching your head.
And I can still get to it without having to hit the gear, so I don't know why it's different. But we got there. So now you're raging. Remember to reduce the rounds of raging you have available each round, obviously. So now you have 9 out of 11 available or 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. All right. And then Mawanui, you're casting a spell.
I am casting Limit Tendrils, and Let me. Creatures.
All right, so it's a fortitude saving throw. First, let's see how many of them you're hitting. So you're doing a line. There's 11 of them on the ship, so you could probably hit, like... Let's do the 1d6. That seems reasonable. Probably a little bit on the high side, but that can be nice occasionally.
1d11.
All right, so
1d12 since Akalupu's on the ship.
there we go. One of these might be Akalupu. Let's let's roll a 1d6, and on a 6 you hit Akalupu. Nope, not Akalupu. All right, so you're hitting 3 of them, and they are going to be making a will save of 19. Right? Oh no, a fortitude save. All right. Let's see what these guys have for their fortitude. Okay, +5. All right, 1 fails. One of them critically succeeds. And the other one fails. So let's, real quick, let me populate combat. Also, if you guys want to switch to more like standard combat, once you guys have like all boarded their boat, we'll switch to normal just combat rules because you're just fighting on foot at that point instead of boat rules.
Cool beans.
All right, so let's add some more little guys over there. So there's already 2, so I need to add another 8 of these guys. And then there is 1 of this guy. Alrighty, so one of them critically succeeds, so what does that do to your spell?
The creature is unaffected.
Alright, so only 2 of them are going to take damage. The other 2 are going to take full damage because they failed.
And so that's 2d4s. Oh, and 1 persistent bleeding damage.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Gotta love it when you can make your enemies bleed.
Right. 2d4. Is that correct? That is correct. So do you want me to roll 4 d4s or 2d4 twice?
The second option.
Gotcha. 5 and 6.
All right, so that is enough to kill 1 outright. So let's just do Goblin Warrior 11. Takes 6 points. And then Goblin Warrior 10 is going to take 5 points. Alright, so you've killed 1, significantly wounded another, and then a third just looks up at you and makes a face.
It's not my fault you're so short. You're too short to hit the how is it described? Dark tendrils.
Oh, they hit him. He just toughed it out.
Oh.
Because it was a fortitude save.
Oh. He must have been like at the back, like went through the first 2 of his buddies, but then like, lost a bit of steam.
Nah, it was that one who looked different from the others, and he just like looks at you and does a throat slitting motion with his knife.
Akalupu can kill him.
We'll see about that.
And then I have one more action left, correct?
No, because you are still doing boat combat rolls.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because you are on the boat, so you get to do 1 thing.
Cool beans.
So the rest of your attention is taken up on, like, managing boat stuff. All right. So now they're gonna go. So the ballista, of course, is going to reload this round. And then several of them are on the oars, and they are gonna try and ram you. So let's see if they can get any successes on this. Nope. Yes. Nope. And a yes. They just barely got enough successes. So they are going to ram into your boat. See how you like it.
We can take it. Our stone keel will be fine.
That's the hope. All right, they don't have a fancy obsidian ramming prow, so sadly their damage is a little lower than yours. And they rolled about as bad as they could have. All right, so 6 damage. You have 5 armor, if I remember correctly. Yep, so you take 1 point. As they basically just end up pushing you backward, and almost all of the blow is absorbed by your obsidian prow.
Ouch! What was that earthquake? Or waterquake?
Pretty much. All right, so they push you back like that.
It's like
all right.
bumper boats out here.
So that's 4 of them who are at the oars, and then there are 2 of them manning the ballista, so that's 6 of them, leaving 4 more who can attack. So 3 of them are going to just circle Manawanui, and they're going to attack him. And they have boarded, so they're like in boarding combat, so they're in the normal 3 actions. That's going to be 1 action to move up, and then they're going to all attack twice. So let's get 6 attacks on Akalupu.
Jeez.
Right. Let's see, attacks. All right, a 24 will hit. An 18, does that hit you, Akalupu?
Yes.
All right, so that's 2 hits so far. And then 12 will not hit. 9 will not hit. And the last 2, a 12 will not hit, and a 21 will hit. So that's 3 hits. Let's get some damage. All right. 12 damage in total. So 3 of them kind of surround Akalupu as he has jumped on board, and they have these same, very similar knives carved out of the tooth of some very large carnivorous creature, and they just go in slashing at him, giving him little paper cuts. Alrighty, so that leaves 1 guy who is going to try and shoot Manawanui with his bow. Gonna roll for that. Alright, 28 will definitely hit, and is a crit. So
Oof.
let's get that rolled. All right, Manawanui, you take another 10 points of damage. As an arrow, you've set this out, these tendrils out, and as you were doing it, the one that you end up killing like looses an arrow as the tendrils are coming at him, and the tendrils and the arrow pass each other, and he gets hit by them and starts like what's the word?
Convulsing?
Yeah, convulsing. And his eyes rupture out of his head and pop off onto the deck and he falls over dead. Meanwhile, an arrow slams into your left shoulder, sending you staggering back a step.
You know, it didn't get me in the knee, so I think I could continue adventuring.
That is true. And luckily, since he's fighting you and you're on another boat, you don't count as being in boarded combat, and so he only gets 1 shot instead of 3. All right, but that leaves the one that looks a little different. He seems to be a little bit taller and more strongly built than the others, and instead of a knife, he's wielding a machete. It seems to be made, again, out of the bone of some creature. This time, a claw, though, that has been pared down and sharpened to a wicked gleam. Let's see if I can find him. Here we go. He's going to take a swing also at Akalupu.
Oh, I thought you were putting a picture on screen.
No.
I was like, I just kept waiting for it. I was like, that's okay.
All right, so he's going to take a couple swings at Akalupu. 15, I don't think hits.
My AC is 50.
Oh, so that's a hit. All right, 2 hits, 15 and 21.
If I hadn't been raging, it wouldn't have hit, but since I'm raging, I have -1 AC.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so he does 18 points of damage as he swings this thing down.
Oh my goodness.
Twice onto Akalupu, burying it deep into his flesh, though Akalupu in his rage barely even seems to notice.
I was gonna feel bad. I was like, oh dang, Akalupu's really taking a beating. Then I look at his stat page. He's got 27 points of stamina and 26 hit points.
Yeah, he's a barbarian. This is his job.
Like, good grief, man.
Yeah,
He's got more stamina than I've got, like, stamina and hit points combined.
Yep. And he
Tech
gets
mode.
more when he rages.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get any damage reduction when you're raging?
I have 6 temporary hit points,
Okay.
but that's it.
Oh, you know why you couldn't see it? So when you click on it, there's 2 tabs at the top. Stats and information, which is why you couldn't see anything. And then there's another tab for edit and configure, and that's where you would have turned it on. Which I was already on that tab, so that's why. Yeah, so you deal additional damage, you take your penalty to AC. Can't concentrate. Yeah, and I'm sure there's like some other things you get, you know, eventually with your rage to add more effects on top of it. So,
Yeah,
like right now you have your raging
have-
intimidation.
Yeah, raging intimidation.
And eventually you're gonna get scared to death, which I'm very excited for.
I'm so ready for it.
All right.
And then I also get the bestial rage, which allows me to use my bite attack.
Yeah. Which you might want to pull Sammy off of Captain and put her in combat so she can throw that buff on you. Give you the magic teeth.
Magic teeth. Magic teeth.
All right, so that is the end of combat. So we come back to the next round. Clearly, no one is trying to fix the canoe or the raft right now, so no rolls for that. I would assume that PPOP, you also want to move to the combat role, so you can get in on this.
Yep.
All right, so no navigational checks. They don't have anyone on piloting either, so we skip that entirely. So we are straight on to combat.
All right.
So PPOP snaps out of his, 1,000-yard stare shock of being in the combat and seeing people crushed by boats. Goes axolotl, gets in the crow's nest, and whips out the short bow that he just made.
Okay, and I will say at this point, because both ships have no pilot, and you're essentially just like stationary, kind of like tethered to each other, we'll say that everyone is in essentially boarding mode, regardless of which boat they're on, for until like something changes. Does that make sense?
What's boarding mode?
So boarding mode is where we go into normal combat. Instead of 1 action in combat, you get your normal 3 actions and everything.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, so there is no crow's nest, but you can crawl up the mast and kind of like hang on to it with your legs, stripper pole style, while you try and take some shots.
Yeah, and I'm sticky, right? Because I'm axolotl.
You were in the spirit realm.
They do.
So in the spirit realm, you were starting to get that stuff, but that all disappeared when you guys came back to the normal realm.
So I try to do that and then realize that it's a lot harder than I expected because I got used to the spirit realm powers.
Exactly. But you can do an athletics check to try and climb up there and then hang on to it with your legs.
Yeah, I'm giving it a go. Can I argue acrobatics?
Yes, absolutely. I think that makes sense.
Roll acrobatics. 18.
Nice. I will give it to you. So, and with a not quite good enough roll for that to be a single action, I think that's a 2 action move.
Okay, deal.
If you'd
And
gotten
then-
a 20, I'd have given it to you with just 1 action.
That makes sense. And so from my perch, I'm going to attack Machete Coconut.
All right, let's see. You snipe him between his eyeballs.
This is not sneak attack damage. He's not flat-footed. No.
Correct. Unless you can do like some sort of rogue trick to make him flat-footed, or you can get someone to flank him or whatever.
Well, okay.
Actually, no,
so
you can't flank with ranged attacks, so never mind on that last one.
My surprise attack says used deception or stealth for initiative. Creatures that haven't acted are flat-footed to you.
Oh, that's a good
He
point.
has
We should probably roll initiative now that we're all in like normal combat. So let's actually do that first. I think that makes the most sense. Let me end tactical mode and then start it back up. And then PPOP, you are using your stealth for your initiative. Is anyone else not using perception?
Unless I can use acrobatics, then no.
Yep. Nope. Deception, diplomacy, stealth, or survival, and diplomacy is only for like social encounters, or if you're like, "Hey, buddy," and then stab him, and trying not to make the "Hey, buddy" obviously aggressive.
Hey, buddy.
I don't even think it was buddy. I forget what you said. It was actually pretty funny.
I think it was like, hey, friendo, or something.
That
like
was
that.
it, friendo. Yes.
Hey, friendo.
All right.
We get some quiet, tiny ghost legs.
All right. So, Akalupu, you're first up.
Yay! I'm gonna bite some fools.
Do you want to hold your action until Sammy goes so that she can buff you?
Yes, I'm gonna do that.
All right. Let me
I'm gonna say, Sammy, give me some magic teeth.
defer your action.
Ugh, the Goblin Commando beat me.
Sag, I know.
That feels so bad.
But only one of them. The rest of them are still going after you. All
But
right.
it's the Commando. That's the one I wanted to aim for.
That is the dangerous one, yeah. All right, so the Goblin Commando is going to, your Akalupu's kind of the only one in range. He could shoot someone with his bow, but I think he just wants to, he's actually, no, he made throat slitting threats against Manoanui, so he's going to try an athletics check to jump onto your boat to get at Manoanui's tasty little frame.
Oh, no, he does not like that.
And he got a
Manoanui's
15.
gonna die.
He got a 15, so he makes it.
Die.
So the commando jumps overboard onto your boat. And I want, so realistically, boarding should put you at a disadvantage, right? So I think I'm gonna keep boarding actions unless you roll like crazy high as a 2 action thing. That's gonna be 2 of his actions. And then with his last one, he's going to try and stab you with his machete.
It's a good thing you've got that extra hero point for the recap. So it's a good thing you get the extra hero point from the recap. You're gonna need it to not die.
Yeah.
Well, no. So hero points aren't used for like death saves anymore. That's what what are they called? The
Resolve?
Yeah, resolve points are used for that now.
Oh.
Now that we move to the stamina system. But he hits. Not quite a crit, sadly.
Oh, so sad.
All right, so he does another 10 points of damage.
So how would I use a resolve point in this situation?
If you go down and are dying,
That would be what would happen.
then
That
you
is what
would
is
use a
happening right now.
resolve point to get back up at 1 hit point.
Okay, so I take the 10 points of damage, right? I'm going to take that damage, puts me at 0, and then I'm going to use a resolve point.
You can't yet. You got to do it on your turn.
Oh, okay.
Wait, can I hero point to jump in front of the blow?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hero point.
All right, you take 10 points of damage.
I was confused because I had already acted in my brain, but I haven't acted yet. I can do this.
Yeah, and the hero point, like if you are within a reasonable range to get down Mr. President for another player, then it doesn't have to be your turn. It doesn't matter if you've acted. Just spend your hero point, and I'll let you jump in front as a reaction, basically.
I'm doing it.
I like that phrase, get down, Mr. President.
All right. So PPOP, do you shout anything heroic as you jump in front of this blow?
Get down, Mr. President.
I like it. All right, you take 10 points of damage. It hurts as this thing slashes into you. Thankfully, since you're still in your stamina at this point.
I thought if I did it to... Okay, wait.
Did you do it to both?
No, I tried to just do it to hit points thinking it would take it off stamina first. What if I do 10 to my stamina? Will it take it off of hit
always
points?
just apply it to stamina, and then it
Okay.
will roll over correctly.
Got it.
Okay, so you'd already taken some damage.
Yeah, I had taken 12 points from an arrow from the first boat.
I see. Okay. So slashes at you, and it goes through what little armor you have. You're not able to quite dodge out of the way. Of course, you don't even have armor. I think you're pretty much just naked. So you try to dodge out of the way, and you kind of manage to make most
my
of
ghillie suit on.
That's true.
My green ghillie suit to blend in with our sails. That's why I'm stealth.
It's so true. But yeah, so you manage to make it's mostly a glancing blow, but it still catches you with the blade, and you feel a large gash is cut into your skin as it swings down for 10 points of damage. And yeah, that's smarts. And that's it for his turn. Luckily for you guys, he does not get to attack 3 times.
Thank the Lord.
So that's his turn. PPOP, you are up.
Yeah, so this drastically changes my plan because he came to me. So I'm gonna use my dagger. Do I need to take an action to equip my dagger rather than my short bow?
No, you're just able to use whatever weapons you want.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna use my daggers, and I'm gonna use my twin feint attack.
Nice.
So that one of my attacks is flat-footed, which allows me to use my sneak attack damage.
Yeah, so I think it's if your first attack hits, he's flat-footed for your additional attacks. Is that correct?
I think it doesn't matter whether the first one hits. It says if you are wielding 2 weapons, strike with each against the same target, and the target is flat-footed versus the second one.
Okay, cool. And there's nothing you have to roll for that other than, like, obviously just attack?
Just attack twice.
Nice.
Do I want to do piercing or slashing damage? He's a coconut, so probably... Wait, I don't know. How do you open a coconut? I guess you do slash it.
No, you stab it through the eye, right? And then you drain the milk out? Because it's got the 3 eyes on a coconut, right? And then you stab through that, and then that's how you drain the milk out.
You set up like a spear and you stab into it. Okay, so we're going to do piercing damage. Apply sneak attack. How do I do my 3 attacks at the same time? They changed it.
If you do the first attack, then the second attack pops up as an option, and then your third after that. And yes, they very much did change it.
So we rolled a 15.
All right, that does not hit.
The second attack is a 24.
All right, that would hit even if you were not flat-footed. Is that a crit?
No, it was a 19 plus 5.
Right, so he's flat-footed, which gives you a +2 to hit. So it's actually a 26. Where's his AC? He has an AC of 17. So that is a raise. No, that's 5 more. Does it have to be 10 more? I don't think it's a crit, but I'll check while you roll damage. I think it has to be 10 more for it to be a crit. And then you can also do your third attack if you want to go for it. I think that one he is not flat-footed for.
That one he's not, and I rolled a 12, so that does not hit.
Yeah, that won't hit.
I'm waiting on the crit because there's a button in Hero Lab that will just apply that.
All right, fair enough. Let's see. Playing the game. Encounter mode. I'm not gonna be able to find it this way. Let me go to the index. All right, looking in the seas. This should not be so hard. I should remember these things and then it would not be a problem. That's the real solution, is to have a real brain. Critical.
So close.
Yeah, so you get a greater success, a critical success, by rolling 10 above your DC, or a nat 20, obviously. So yeah, not quite a crit, sadly.
No, okay.
Unless, are you flanking with someone?
It could be flanking with a certain very grateful witch or warlock.
Yeah, definitely a witch. I don't know. So you jumped between the two of them, so I don't think you could be flanking with Manawa Nui.
Which is Manawa Nui to the other side.
So sadly, no. I don't think it's a crit. But it was close.
Well, I rolled poorly.
Oof.
7 damage total, including the extra d6.
All right. 7 damage.
A 2 and a 1.
All right. He looks... So you stab at him, and you stab right into his coconut mask, because your whole plan was to, do the whole coconut thing. And your knife gets stuck in his mask, and it doesn't... It's hurt him, but it doesn't seem like significant damage. E.g., he's still in stamina health.
And since I only hit him once, I only have to roll 1 break roll, right?
Correct. Unless the others were critical failures.
They were not. 25.
All right. And then which knife were you using?
It's the obsidian one.
All right. I think that was a 15% chance to break.
I think I wrote that on a different page in here. Hold on. Gotta get my journal out.
Right, low tech adjustments, stone, yeah, 15% chance to break, so you are good.
Nice.
If it was one of your wooden weapons, that would have broken.
Yes, 15%.
Alrighty, so that is it for your turn, I believe. So next up, we got a few more Goblin Warriors. Let me remove this dead one real quick.
Shouldn't there be 2 dead ones?
Who else is dead? Because this is just for this boat. You've killed one with the tendrils.
Yeah, but then I killed. No, I damaged severely one.
Yeah.
With the tendrils.
And that's Goblin Warrior 10 over here.
Yeah, and he also has +1 persistent bleeding damage.
Cool. Yeah, remind me of that on hit. Or actually, he only has 1 hit point left, so.
Oh, there we go.
He did. I'll just go ahead and kill him now.
He just bleeds out.
Bloop. All right. So before Sammy's turn, one of them is just like still staring vacantly at the middle distance after being hit by the tendrils, and then you see him just cough up blood and fall over on his turn. So I think these 2 guys are probably just going to try and keep smacking Akalupu, 'cause it's fun. If they hit him enough times, he'll, explode like a loot pinata, I figure.
Something like that, I'm sure.
All right, 19 will hit, 19 will hit, 7 will not. So that's 2 hits for this first guy for 4 damage. And then this second guy, 25 will hit, but was not a crit. 15 misses or hits? Okay, hits. And a 12 will not hit. So that's 2 more hits for 8 more damage. Alright, so these guys are just whacking away at Akalupu. Have they even gotten through your stamina health yet?
Oh yeah, no, I'm down to 9 hit points.
Oof. For some reason that's not updated on my screen. May just need to refresh real quick.
It'll all be fine.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so now it is Sammy's turn. What can she do? Let's see. So she can actually heal with a single action as long as she's in touch range.
Wasn't she gonna buff Akalupu's teeth or something?
See, that's the thing. I can either do a big heal, to try and get some hit points in people, or I can buff Akalupu's teeth. Honestly, these guys have few enough hit points. I don't think Akalupu needs the extra damage, but I think he does need the extra hit points. So I think she is going to cast Heal as a heightened spell to really give it some kick. So that is going to take up a 2nd level spell slot, but she should get some real hit point healing done. So it's going to be 1d8 plus 8, and then she heightened it. For another d8 and another plus 8. So that's 2d8 plus 16. All right.
Dang.
Gotta keep Akalupu in the fight. He's the star of the team when it comes to murdering things.
Gotta heal the main tank.
Shield.
Exactly. All right, 24 hit points left. That should help out.
I'm here.
Or back, I should say, not left.
That's
Now, healing only goes to your health. It does not restore stamina. So that'll just restore your health to full.
yeah.
And then I did post, let me check, because I think there are ways to use your resolve points in combat. I posted those in Roll20, I think. Yeah, here we go. All right, so you can take a breather, but that requires you to take a 10-minute rest. You can rally, but that takes a minute. Steal your resolve, I think is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. All right, so you can use one of your actions to steal your resolve. You spend 1 resolve point, and you regain stamina points equal to half of your maximum.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you'd like to spend one of your actions instead of killing to just get more hit points back, and also, Manawanui, you can do this on your turn as well. You can spend one of your resolve points and get half of your stamina back.
Is it rounded up or down?
Always round down.
Okay.
All right, and then
Dog gone crazy.
Sammy still has an action left. So I don't know if she has any spells that are actually useful here.
Doesn't she have like Tanglefoot?
I think that's a 2-action spell, though.
Oh, is it right?
I'm gonna, real quick before I forget, I'm gonna pin these. They're easy to find. So I've pinned the stamina actions in Roll20, the Roll20 chat. So yeah, I don't think she can do anything useful there. She could technically hit someone with her stick. Yeah, because Wilding Word isn't going to do any good. So I guess she's going to try and hit the commando with her... Actually, I don't know. Damage is a little worse. But she's more likely to hit, and it's more fun, so I'm going to do this. She actually, her hair comes alive and starts moving as if it had a mind of its own, and it balls up little hair fists, and I'm just going to try to punch him real hard. So let's see if she can hit this guy. An 8 will not hit. So she's not quite close enough, and her hair just doesn't reach. She's like, dang it, I knew I shouldn't have cut my hair. All right. So now, I would assume, Akalupu, you'd like to start up your turn?
Yes.
End her turn. Done deferring. What are you in waiting? Well, that's fine. Anyway, it's your turn.
Akalupo is going to fight bulls.
Yeah. So you used 1 action to recover your stamina, right?
Yes.
Cool. So you got 2 actions left. Let's see this. Who are you biting? Unless you want to go back to your ship, it's only the Goblin Warriors. So I would assume that's the plan.
Yeah.
All right, you're going for the little guys.
So 22.
Oh yeah.
They changed the roll UI. And then
Yes, they did.
10 damage.
All right. That is 1 dead Gobbo as you bite the guy. You just like bite one of them and you rip his entire arm off, leaving just a chunk of his torso ripped out. And yeah, he did.
Nice. And then 10.
That will not hit.
Sad.
All right, so the other one jumps back, screaming in fear as he sees the fate of his friend. All right, let me pull this dead guy off. All right, and if I were mean, this is where I would have one of the Goblin Warriors shoot 3 arrows at Manawanui. Because tactically that would be the best thing to do. But this is the guy who jumped out of the way of Akalupu, so he's gonna try and jump back in for some hits. So let's see what he can do. 26, that'll hit. And then your AC is 15 right now, right, Akalupu?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a crit.
Oof.
22 will hit. 19 will hit. Holy crap, these goblins. Stop rolling so good.
They may be bad at fixing their boats, but they are good at attacking.
Right. All right, so that is 10 on the crit and 6 on the other 2 hits for a total of 16 damage. But in your rage, you once again, that's still stamina damage, I think, so.
Yeah, it just barely brings me it's 3 hit point damage.
Yeah, so you largely shrug that off and turn on him, your teeth dripping red, and this goblin is quite cowed. All right, so that's his turn. Manawanui, I imagine you want to spend one of those resolve points, get some stamina health back.
Manawanui does. How much? So if I spend one, how many does that? You said half?
Correct. So rounded down, so that would give you 4.
4? Thanks. Alright, we're gonna do
Or
that.
if you want to just save that action for attacking, but you only need 2 actions for a spell, so it's probably better to have the hit points.
I could beat him with my fists.
Exactly.
I have a feeling that other people might be better at that than me.
Just a wee bit.
Just a little bit. Alright, so quick question. So to heighten a spell, I can do that, correct?
Yeah, so to heighten a spell, you need to raise it to the next level, so it's taking up a higher spell slot. It has to be a level you can cast, so if you can only cast level 2 spells, you can't heighten it to level 3.
So if it says, for one of the effects, it says heightened, and then in parentheses, 5th. Would that be for a 5th level person?
Which spell are you looking at?
I'm looking at command.
Alright, let's see. Command is a 1st level spell. Heightened means that you can, at 5th level, it becomes heightened. So when you are a level 5 character, you can target 10.
Okay, cool.
I think. Or no. No, I think it does need to be a 5th level spell. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that.
Either way, I can't cast it at that level now.
Yeah, and you would need to have prepared it as a heightened spell, so...
Okay.
If you prepared it as a level 1 spell, you're kind of out of luck.
Okay. So we're not going to use that one. We're going to use either Shocking Grasp or Charitable Urge. I don't know why.
You're not going to turn into a tree?
I don't think I prepared that spell.
Aw.
But unfortunately, I could have just turned into the boat. Nope, I'm a mast.
Exactly.
I think it'd be more, unless I think that's only one person. Yeah, it's only one person. Okay, I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp on the good friend in front of me.
Alright, and before you ask, no, he is not made of metal.
He might have. You never know. One day. You never know. All right. And I think. Let me see. Shocking Grasp.
Yeah, you're going to roll your attack to see if you hit him.
Alrighty. That's a d20 plus 9.
If you click the little die, it'll roll it for you. And yes, it is a d20 plus 9.
Look at that. Alright, roll. I don't know what I rolled. Oh, 16. I got a 16.
Alright. Sadly, that does not hit.
Son of a gun, I should have done charitable urge. Made a very charitably feeling.
Now, you missed it by 1.
Of course.
You need to circle around to the back and flank with PPOP. Alrighty, I think that's all of your actions. So, we got 4 more Goblin Warriors. What are they gonna do? I think 2 of them are gonna try and board, and they're gonna try and flank PPOP. So they jump overboard and kind of line up. Only one of them can actually flank properly because these are medium creatures. So one of them is going to be flanking you. The other one will not be, but they both have 1 action left to attack with. So let's see if they can hit PPOP's incredibly high AC. Alright, so this guy is flanking, so he gets the bonus. Nope, that's not gonna hit. And that's his turn. This other guy is going to attempt to also hit PPOP, and he is not flanking. 25, that will hit. Alright, so PPOP, you get shanked in the back for 4 damage.
Ouch.
That is his turn. And these other guys are gonna try to wail on Akalupu. I'm gonna say they probably had to move up to get to where they could hit him. So that's one of their actions. So they're only gonna get 2 attacks each. Actually, no, I think these 2 are the guys on the ballista. Yeah. And it's reloaded now.
Aims at Akalupu. Akalupu dodges. Them. Pokes hole in boat. Us.
Exactly. We'll see how this goes. All right, so point blank range. They've swiveled the ballista down, and they're going to try to take a shot at Akalupu. That will hit. All right. Luckily, this thing is meant for attacking boats and not people, so it actually doesn't do incredibly good damage against people. So basically, like, it's just not, like, wieldy, meant for shooting people on their own deck. So their hit is just gonna not, like, land properly, but it's still gonna take a slice out of you for 9 points.
Oh.
All right, and that is both of their actions. Sweet. All right, next round. Goblin Commando is up first again. So Goblin Commando, he's going to split his
Well, wasn't Akalupu first, but he chose to wait?
Yeah, when he waited, that reset his position, so see how he's after Sammy now?
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that was gonna, like, be a forever thing.
I mean, I'll let you go first this time if you want to, like, retcon it, but yes, that is how it works.
Oh. I wouldn't have done it, considering it didn't even get buffed.
Yeah, sadly you took a lot of damage.
Yeah, no, it's not
All right,
really.
so you can go first.
deal with
That's
it.
fine.
I'm just gonna chomp on some more guys.
All right. 3 attacks, or are you going to spend another one of your resolve points to get some stamina points back again?
Do the resolve when did the resolve points get redone?
You get your resolve points at back at a long rest, so basically like a night's sleep.
Okay.
So short rest is
Yeah,
15
fine.
minutes where you're just like, okay, let's catch a breather. A long rest is like, all right, let's rest, reset, recuperate. And that takes about
Yeah.
8 hours generally.
I'm just gonna go to bed in the middle
Yeah,
of
so I'm going to
combat.
use 1, 2.
It has to be uninterrupted, by the way.
19,
That'll hit.
15 damage.
All right, you go for the one that like stabbed you earlier, the one that kind of like moved back in, and you just bite his head off and spit it out at the next guy.
Another 19.
That'll hit.
6 damage.
That's still enough to kill him. So you spit it out so hard that it actually like knocks this guy in the arm so that he stabs himself straight into the eyeball. All right.
Eyeball stabbing. Eyeball stabbing.
We remove 2 of these guys from combat as they are now dead. And Akalupu has acted. Now it's the commando's turn. So he's going to split his tender, loving attentions across the both of you. I'm going to roll a 1d2 to see who he hits twice. 1 is going to be Pipiopi, 2 is Manawanui. All right, Pipiopi gets hit twice. So, first hit on Pipiopi, 11 will not hit. Second hit, he spins around after his miss on Pipiopi and attempts to bury his machete straight into Manawanui's skull. 21 will hit. So Manawanui takes 9 points of damage.
Youch.
Is Manawanui down?
I think Manawanui. Let me see.
Yeah, you have 8 total, 4 hit points, 4 stamina points. So yeah, you down.
Wait. I have an interesting. Oh, no, this doesn't. Okay, I have die hard, but that just means I die at 5 rather than 4.
Yeah. So that will only apply if you start taking death saves. All right. And then the final attack, he's buried his hatchet in in Manawanui's skull. It doesn't look deadly, but it looks pretty bad. And then he wrenches it out and swings overhead at Pipiopi again, and a 15 will not hit. So Pipiopi just sidesteps it once again. That is his turn. All right, you're up, Pipiopi.
All right. We're going to do the same thing. Triple attack, dagger style.
Woot woot. Let's get it. Murder, murder, murder.
1, 2, 3. 13, then 7, then 19.
All right. Sadly, you're flat-footed. Your second attack. Well, I'll let you do flat-footed on the one that hits. I think that's fine. I'm not gonna always give that to you, but in this case, I will. But the first 2 were misses.
Okay. And god damn it. All right. 8 points of damage total.
All right. Some good damage on him.
It's really not. I've been rolling like nearly the minimum for damage rolls every time.
Yeah.
I've been hitting 1 out of 3 and rolling as low as possible.
Yep. But yeah, I just meant like he's pretty close to dead now. He's hurt. All right, so that is Pipiopi's turn. Sammy does not really have any attacking spells, so I don't think she can finish this guy off. But she does have 1 more heal. She got 2 of them. So, Manawanui, you're about to get the big boy heal. Actually, wait. How many hit points do you have?
I have 0.
You have 9 hit points. You don't even need the big boy heal.
I need a heal.
You do need a heal, but like 2d8 plus 16 would be kind of overkill on your maximum of 9 hit points.
I have 15 hit points. I have 9 stamina.
Well, healing doesn't go to stamina, only to hit points.
I have 15 hit points.
Well, you had max 9. Oh yeah, you're right. It is 15. You have 9 stamina points. You're right.
Yeah.
I still think first level is fine. So you can save a second level. Or I guess because she's already prepared them. I don't think she has a choice. Yeah, they're already prepared at second level. So let's get the heal out. I mean, you're full. It's 2d8 plus 16. She can't heal less than your 15 hit points.
Maybe. What if I choose to resist?
Technically, it does have to be a willing creature. Otherwise, it does damage.
I think I'll be fine.
Well, it only does damage to undead, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, I'm not dead.
Nope.
I'm not really alive.
And now you're very much not dead. So you are healed back up to full hit points, which actually also removes the level of wounded. So you don't even have your 1 level of wounded that you would normally get from being downed. And she has 1 action left, so she's gonna try the hair punch again. It could work, you never know.
We believe in her.
Alright, let's see. Nope, 11 is not good enough. She's rolling really bad for these.
She tried.
Alright, so that is it for her turn. We got another Goblin Warrior, so I think, yeah, this is the one that's still on the boat with Akalupu. So of course he is going to jump overboard and swim away for his life.
Nice.
Alright, Monowanui, you're up.
Okay. How many creatures are in front of me again?
The Goblin Commando is directly in front of you. And then if you want to use a move action to get at them, there are 2 Goblin Warriors that are, one of them is flanking PPOB.
All right. I'm going to command the one flanking PPOP to run away.
Alright, is that a will save?
Will save. He has to get over 19.
Alright. I think Will, with command, as long as it's not an obviously suicidal thing, he just kind of has to do it, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Wow, he has a +3 on his will save? He rolled 19.
What a son of a gun. He can just go die in a hole.
So you're just like, run away for your life, little goblin. And he just goes, yeah! And waves his knife threateningly at you.
Alright, well, I guess with my last action, I'm going to hit the guy in front of me with my fist.
Which is the commando? The big guy?
Yes.
You do have a staff of like +1 that PPOP made you that's actually pretty dope.
It's not, yeah, but my fists, so my fists have a +7 and the staff is a +6.
Yeah, but your fists also do very little damage.
Oh, for real?
Oh, actually, I think it's the same. It is the same. That's surprising. All right, go for it. Punch him.
I'm gonna hit him. I got an 11, son of a gun.
So you punch him, and you like punch straight into his coconut helmet, and it hurts you more than it hurts him.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
All right, that's your turn. So we got the 2 flanking PPOP. So the one guy still flanking is going to go for his attacks. 13 won't hit. 8 won't hit, even with flanking. Both of those won't hit, even with flanking. And even with flanking, 15 won't hit. So yeah, PPOP, you are just too fast.
It's the Matrix up in here.
Actually, no, he can't find you. You're blending into the sail. Where are you even? All right, so that's his turn. This other guy, I think he's going to move to where he is flanking Manawa Nui. So that's one of his actions. And then he's going to try for some attacks. Manawa Nui's a little easier to hit. 27 will hit. 15. What's your AC?
I believe, a 17? No, let me see.
Yeah, 17. All right, so 15 will hit with flanking, and a 27 is a crit with flanking, especially.
Oh, come on.
It's a crit and he's flanking. So
how many times do I gotta die?
The crit does 8 damage. The normal hit does 6 damage. So you are going to take 14 damage.
That is way less than
As
my
he
maximum.
stabs you in the kidneys.
Manawa Nui's not having a good time today. He has taken all sorts of hurt.
Yeah, right in your kidneys. All right.
And my brain.
And your brain, absolutely. Yeah, you are definitely concussed.
Yeah, man. And my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I got hit at some point during the ship combat, so. Poor, as you can hear his crying in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And then these two coconut monsters up on the ballista are just going to spend their round reloading it. All right. Next round, Akalupu. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when I come for you?
If you want to jump back on y'all's boat and finish off that Goblin Commando, that's an option. He's pretty low, so he's probably dead either way, but he might get another hit in on PPOP. Or Manawa Nui and finish him off again.
Yeah.
I think you're muted, Anna.
Hello?
Still coming through Abe's mic.
Yeah.
It's because my phone is weird. Hello, that better?
You back?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna jump over there and fight him. Hopefully.
All right. So you roll athletics. Let's see if you get over.
You just go into the sea and chase after that coconut.
That's an option.
Get away from me, little friend.
All right, 26. I'm going to say that that's just your move action like normal. Like you rolled well enough, you still have 2 actions left to do
Cool.
some
This is
ripping and
16
tearing.
Go.
I will say you're probably flanking him with PPOP, and with flanking, that will hit.
Okay, cool. 8 damage.
Yeah, he had 3 hit points left.
Yes.
All right.
Bite the head off that snake.
So Agalupu, running out of targets as one of them has just run away. Also, do remember to reduce your raging. Not that I think we'll go past 10 rounds, but whatever. Better to keep track of it.
I don't remember how many.
Just reduced it to like 3. Not 2, 3, but reduce it by 3. Yeah, so Agalupu, having run out of other targets, and you're looking around and you see the commando over there, and you see Manawa Nui bleeding, and you snicker to yourself with a wry smile and just think, typical Manawa Nui. It's bleeding from every orifice, of course, as always. And you just leap across and you come flying directly on top of this commando and you just rip him in half with your jaws.
Akalupu, my hero.
All right, you got one more action.
Just a second.
All right, PPOP, why don't you take your turn, and then we'll slot in Akalupu's last action when Anna's back.
Okay.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back now.
Sweet.
Um.
You go bite another one of the goblins?
Yes.
Still 2 on the boat.
Yep. Bite another coconut. 17.
That'll hit.
9 damage.
That'll kill him. So you manage to catch him. You rip him in half, and you've still got the goblin. You've got the bigger coconut guy's arm still in your teeth, and you just swing your head around looking for your next target, and manage to lop off the head of one of these other guys.
Nice.
All right, PPOP.
Okay.
If you would like to retrieve the hatchet, or not the hatchet, the bone machete, and use that.
I don't. I am going to use my short bow to shoot the ballista operators.
Nice.
And so that is a ranged attack, so my sneak attack still applies.
I think only if they're
no,
flat-footed to
only
you.
if the twin feint. Yeah, because the twin feint is what was making him flat-footed. Okay, never mind. So it's just regular, non-sneak attack.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fire a volley of 3 arrows that all miss. 14, 14, 5.
Oof.
Jeez.
Yeah. Sadly, those are all. Well, I don't know. They're like operating a ballista and not actually paying much attention to you. I'll give you flat-footed. Those the 2 14s hit, and you can do your sneak attack damage in there.
Noise. Oh, what just happened? Okay. First one is 7 points of damage. Second one is 8 points of damage.
All right, those are both kills.
Haha.
So what
Went
are you?
from 0 to hero just by flat-footed.
Right? Yeah, that's the rogue way.
That's the rogue way.
All right, so one of your arrows kind of thuds harmlessly into the ballista itself, but then the other 2 catch the operators unawares. One of them sticks in one's neck, and the other one goes right through the eye hole of a coconut mask, and the 2 of them fall off of the raised platform where they have the ballista set up. All right, that is your turn,
You
Sammy.
can hear Akalupu in the distance say, that still only counts as 1.
Exactly. She doesn't need to use stabilize. Thankfully, Monoanui is 1 hit point away from dying. She is out of heal though. And Magic Fang is not going to be very useful at this moment. So, I mean, she could cast Enhance Victuals on your fetid chum and make it actually edible. She just go on hair punch 3 times at this goblin, because it's either that or just stand in the back and squeak encouragement, which she's doing anyway, while also punching. All right, she finally got some decent rolls. She got a crit and a hit. For 10 points of damage. So, yeah. She comes up behind this last goblin who's flanking Manawa Nui, and she just grabs it with her hair, picks him up off of the ship, and twists his neck. And there's a sickening crack as his neck is broken, and she drops him onto the deck, and then looks visibly sick after having done that.
That hair spell is more intense than I thought.
All right. That's actually just a feat she took. Now her hair can like do attacks and like basically she has prehensile hair, so she can hit people with it. She can like do the laundry with it. She can drink tea with it.
Tea.
But yeah, all right, that's the end of combat. The scream, there's one coconut creature still paddling desperately away from you guys, trying to stifle its squeaks, but rather unsuccessfully. And Sammy is like shaking and retching over the side of the boat. Carnage surrounds you. If you thought the fetid chum was bad before, now both your own boat is strewn with body parts and viscera, and the war raft over where Akalupu was standing is just an absolute charnel house.
I would say we didn't do too bad for ourselves.
Manawanui says before passing out.
I'm just gonna. I kind of feel lightheaded, guys. I'm just gonna go sit down for ever.
PPOP is also gonna lay down for a nap. Just lay out starfish pose.
Yeah, I think all of you are pretty exhausted, except Agalupu, who's like coming out of that rage high and has so much adrenaline, he might be a little bit more energetic.
Probably not too much, though.
All right, so you guys are taking a 15-minute rest then?
Yes.
All right, so anyone who has focus points left, you can spend one to recover all of your stamina if you would like to.
I would definitely like to.
Or resolve points, sorry, not focus points.
I knew what you meant.
All right, Sammy actually will also. She took a couple points of damage. For once, she wasn't the one that almost got eviscerated by a giant lava crab.
Right. Manawanui is just gonna sit there and kind of look at the arrow in his shoulder and go, huh. There's an arrow.
Yeah, Sammy eventually recovers, and she once she's done retching over the side of the boat, she still looks pale, but she comes over to Manawanui and says, "Oh, that looks really bad. Here," and she hands you a stick. Bite down on this. I'm gonna have to push it through. If we try to pull it out, it'll just do more damage. And she is going to try a heal check.
Just don't do any damage to me, because
well, you've got stamina points now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All right, so she's gonna try to do a heal, a medicine check. See what she does on this. All right, 27. That should definitely get some good stuff done. 27. So it's DC 15. Let's see. Okay, so that's actually just if you're dying. Here we go, treat wounds. This is what I'm looking for. She got a 27, so that's 2 raises. Which is technically just a critical success. I don't think it has anything for raises. Oh, but she can do it. Is she an expert? Let's see. Is she expert in medicine? She is. All right, so she can do big heals, D10s. Okay, so you are going to heal for 2d10 points. Or she could do it at normal and do 48. That's probably better, actually. Yeah. Alright, she's gonna go for just the critical success and heals you for 26 points of damage. So yeah, definitely better to do the 48 than the 2d10 in this instance. So yeah, she pulls out some medicine. She pushes it through. So she breaks it off, pushes it through, and then she gets out her kit of herbs and poultices and stuff and patches you up very effectively. She also gets some on your head. She is able to put a compress on there to deal with the concussion. Gets some poultice on your kidney as well, and yeah, you're feeling much better now.
Wow, who knew? A little TLC.
Yeah,
all I needed.
Clearly she's using some of her magic in with the healing. She's not just slapping some band-aids on there and making all the boo-boos go away.
There you go, son. Oh, thank you. I feel much better. Oh man. Ooh, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was intense. What the heck were those things?
I don't know, but they were very, very angry. They were not friendly.
One of them just walks up and goes, "Hey, friendo," and then stabs you in your kidney again.
This is what I mean. The psychopath would do such a thing.
All right. Do you guys want to search the ships today, or do you want to wrap up now and see what kind of loots and stuff you discover next time?
Let's loot next time.
Alrighty. Then let's go ahead and wrap up as always. And what has PPOP learned?
PPOP learned that, I don't know, machetes are scary, and also that war is hell.
Yeah. That was intense. Definitely. So that's the kind of thing that we can do because of the stamina system, where you can have a very intense fight and still come out on top like that. If you guys only had health and your only heals were potions or magic, that becomes more difficult to sustain a long fight, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
All right. What has Akalupu learned?
Akalupu learned that coconuts are cowards.
Fair enough. Yeah, you just one of those guys. Just there's a brown stain on the deck of the raft now. Probably multiple brown stains. But Akalupu, like, he's feeling nice and satisfied. You know, he's hungry a lot of the time, but not right now.
Mm-hmm. Just like lots of the coconut meats.
Exactly. All right, and Manawa Nui, what has your poor kidney learned?
Vanonui learned that he is a bit more squishy than he thought, and needs to prepare more damage spells.
Well, especially since you're having to take up the slack for Sammy, she
Yeah.
has utility and healing only, no damage. And now that you guys are in your like secret little witch coven, you know, you can coordinate what kind of spells you want to have on each person.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a really good idea. That is a really good idea. Would that be just something done like before the beginning of each day, or?
Yeah, well, you prepare your spells at the end of each long rest. So basically, like, you wake up in the morning, you get your coffee, you know, Akalupu's frying up some eggs and bacon, and you're over there with your nose in a book being like, how do I want to meta things today?
How shall I bring death and destruction today?
Yeah, except in your case, since it's not, you don't have a spell book, it's all tied to Reginald. You're just kind of, you know, over there. You can do this, you know, in game, how you want to do it. But basically, you just do it in the morning. You prepare your spells for the day.
Nice. Actually, a pretty good idea.
Yeah, definitely talk to Sammy. You know, work some stuff out. You guys can chat about, you know, witchy stuff.
You know, just being witches.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you guys had a great game, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Bye bye.